Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 9 of CSTGIA 2026. We are bringing you AI-powered adversaries defending against agentic threats in an accelerating landscape. Over the last several weeks, during our CSTGIA weekly discussions, we have discussed cyber resilience as a leadership discipline. We've explored governance maturity. We've examined workforce architecture. And we've talked about trust as a strategic infrastructure. But today we shift into urgency because the threat landscape has entered a new phase, not only evolution, but revolutionary acceleration. AI is no longer just transforming productivity, it is transforming our adversaries in real time. And the speed differential between attackers and defenders is widening. That is our focus today. So let's talk about the compression of the attack lifecycle. Traditionally, cyber attacks unfolded in stages: reconnaissance, initial compromise, privilege escalation, lateral movement, boom, impact. That process used to take days, weeks, months, and even sometimes years. Now, generative AI is accelerating reconnaissance and lateral movement to machine speed. Threat actors can map your network architecture faster, identify weak identity controls, generate exploit variants instantly, automate phishing personalization at scale. So the result is simple. Your detection window is shrinking astronomically, and human reaction time is no longer enough. This gives rise to greater agentic threats. And here is the more concerning development. We are seeing research and real world indicators of agentic AI threats, not just automation, but autonomy. AI agents are being used to orchestrate full-on ransomware operations, initial intrusion, credential harvesting, escalation, encryption, extortion messaging, end-to-end, with minimal human intervention. This changes the whole equation because we are no longer defending against an adversarial operator. We are now defending against an adaptive real-time system. And if your defensive architecture requires manual intervention at every stage, we are ultimately structurally disadvantaged. What else are we seeing? Well, vulnerabilities in the very tools we trust. So let's talk about exposure. Critical vulnerabilities have been discovered in AI coding assistance. Simply opening a project could trigger malicious command execution. Pause on that. The very tools that are supposed to be accelerating our enterprise productivity are, in reality, conjointly expanding our attack surfaces. So innovation in this AI era without governance equals maximized exposure. So if your AI adoption is outpacing your AI oversight, ultimately risk is compounding exponentially. So the broader vulnerability landscape looks like AI-driven threats escalating while traditional vulnerabilities remain highly active. Recent examples include WAN-related technology authentication bypasses being actively exploited, major remote support platforms vulnerabilities being exploited at scale, thousands of exposed cloud API keys granting access to AI endpoints, and growing targeting of IoT and operational technology systems by new threat groups. What does this tell us? Well, attack surfaces are ultimately converging. The cloud, the edge, operating technology, IoT, and AI platforms. There are no clean boundaries anymore, which means security must become more architectural and not reactive. So, what are the strategic implications for our cyber leaders? Well, first and foremost, it's no longer a SOC problem. It's an executive design problem. And three realities are defining 2026 thus far. Speed favors further automation. Automation favors attackers, and trust boundaries are dissolving. So, if your organization is still thinking in perimeter models, you are likely very far behind because the new perimeter is identity. The new speed requirement is machine speed, and the new requirement is pre engineered containment. So, our defense architecture model contains 5 essential capabilities to maximize 2026 resilience. First, AI-aware governance, model validation, prompt discipline, AI tool auditing. Second, identity-centric security, continuous authentication, behavioral analytics, privilege minimization. Third, detection at machine speed, because defensive AI must flag anomalies and execute containment activities. Machine must counter machine. Fourth, OT and IoT segmentation, microsegmentation, real-time monitoring, and isolation capability. Fifth, executive decision readiness, predefine escalation paths, incident decision frameworks, and cross-functional coordination. Why? Because preparedness beats panic hands down. So in the last area, we need to be thinking about how this affects workforce and culture. Technology alone is not going to save an unaware, unprepared workforce. We must build AI literate executives and staff, cyber aware boards, deep fake detection training, and simulation based resilience exercises. Why? Because security culture must evolve faster than our adversary capabilities. The human layer always remains decisive. So, our closing reflection is these 6 questions. Is AI governance equal to AI adoption? Is there the capability to detect lateral movement at machine speed? Are remote tools hardened and monitored? Does the enterprise know where every API key resides? Are OT systems segmented? And lastly, is leadership prepared for autonomous ransomware scenarios? The adversary is accelerating, but so can we. Cyber resilience in 2026 is not reactive defense. It is engineered advantage, and advantage belongs to those who design deliberately. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, bringing you week 9 of CSTGIA 2026. AI-powered adversaries defending against agentic threats in an accelerating landscape.